loop is for iterating over a collection and for repeating actions. A collection can be a list or even a string or any other iterable objects. Let's start with a simple list, which is a data type in Python, and it is a collection of items. List name is numbers, and I just put numbers between square brackets. This is a valid list in Python. Collection of numbers, where we have 5 items. You can put strings here as well, or booleans, it doesn't really matter. Let's get back to our form of the for loop. So for and in are keywords here, and this code goes through the collection, takes one item, and executes the code block. You can rename the item and the collection as you like. Now let's rewrite the for loop to iterate over on our numbers list. And just copy this for loop, and our collection is a list in Python. So the collection is the numbers, and item, just write number here. And let's rewrite the code block as well to print the number out and run it. All right, so we have the list here. And what it really does is it starts the loop here. And in the first iteration, it takes the first element of the numbers list, 9, and runs the code block. It finishes the code block and goes back to the beginning of the loop and takes the next item. So in the second iteration, it takes the second element of the numbers list, which is 2, and runs the code block. And it goes until the last element of the collection. On every item, we simply print the item itself to the console. You can try the loop on a string as well. You can generate a sequence of numbers using the range function, which is commonly used in for looping. By default, it starts with 0, increments by 1, and ends at the specified number. So if you want to run this print code block 3 times, you can write this for loop. If you want to run it 4 times, you can do it as well. How does it work? Now the range function feeds the for loop in every iteration. It feeds the for loop with 0 in the first iteration, with 1 in the second iteration, and so on. If you'd like to go backwards, range function helps you with that as well, because the truth is it has 3 parameters: start, stop, and step. Start is where to start the sequence, stop is where to stop the sequence, and steps between sequence of elements. So if I'd like to rewrite this range 4 in this new way, so range 4 looks like this. Start is 0, ends is 4, and step is 1. And we got the same result. But you can use negative numbers as here to going backwards. Start is 4, we would like to go to 0, and -1 is a step, and in this case the indexes will be 4, 3, 2, and 1. To stop a loop before it finishes or loops through the items, you need a break statement. My list is a list of fruits. You can also write the name of the fruits as strings too, if you'd like, but I use icons because it looks much better. So I'm going to iterate over all of my fruits with the for in loop, fruits, and I will call my item simply fruit. Let's go and print the fruit out to the console and run it. As you can see, we have banana, apple, and pineapple as well. That's great. Now my goal is to stop at the apple item. And in order to do this, I need two things, an if statement and the break statement. So if fruit equals with an apple, I'd like to stop my entire for loop and break. To show you, I print an end string here just to see what is the outcome of this. All right, so now we only have a banana and an apple. What happens here is that for loop starts, prints out the first item, which is banana, check the if statement, and it is false because banana doesn't equal with an apple. Then for loop iterates over to the next item, apple, prints it out, and check the if statement, which will be true in this case because the fruit variable will be an apple. With a continue statement, you can stop the current iteration and continue with the next one. So I just simply rewrite this break to a continue statement, and this is the outcome with the break statement, banana and apple, and this is the outcome with the continue statement. What happens here is for loop starts with the first item, then the second item. Second item is an apple, so this if statement will be true. Continue will be active, and from the apple item, the for loop goes to the next item, which is pineapple, and prints it out. That's great. What if I just put this print function after the if statement, because I don't want to print the apple item, and run again. And in this case, we don't have an apple, because when the for loop arrives to the apple item, the if condition, the if statement will be true, and continue statement skip this out and doesn't break the entire for loop. For loops can have an optional else block, which is executed when the loop finishes. In this else block, I just put print no fruit left behind, which will be executed when the loop finishes. You can see we have the entire list printed out and the else code block as well. When there is a break statement which comes alive at a specific item, the else code block won't run. So check this out, and I will put a break statement when fruit equals with an apple. We'll break the entire for loop, and in this case, else code block won't run. The homework, what I'm going to give you, is to calculate the amount of these item prices. The goal is that I have this price list in dollars, which contains prices of items I'd like to buy. And I want to know the final cost. How much does all of this cost for me? Try to solve this yourself. By now, you have all the knowledge to do this. Now, I'm going to show you the solution. So it's pretty simple with a for in loop. For price in prices, and we have the amount variable, and we just need an addition and an assignment operation. So amount plus and equals price, and this is equals with amount plus price, and just print the amount of all of this, and this is $194. That's all for now. I hope I will see you in the next lesson.